Calling all radio amateurs, please stand by for the University Amateur Radio Club's Thursday Night Net. This net meets each Thursday night at 8 o'clock Central Time in support of the University of Alabama's Amateur Radio Club. You do not have to be a member of UARC to check in, and all licensed amateur radio operators are encouraged to participate. This is KV4S. My name is Russell. I'm located in Chelsea, Alabama, and I'll be your net control station for this session of the net. Stations with emergency or priority traffic are welcome to break the net at any time. The University Amateur Radio Club thanks Fred, W5MGM, for facilitating IRLP, Echolink, and All-Star connectivity for the net, and Owen, W3NH of the North Alabama Repeater Association, for use of their IRLP nodes. A list of participating repeaters and nodes is available at n4lx.com/UARC. Are there any business or announcements for the net? Alright, hearing none, I will give a read of the questions and trivia questions for tonight. These are posted online at n4lx.com/UARC, and click the trivia button when you get there. The first question is, what DX station in Antarctica was much sought after by hams in the early 30s? Was it A, Easter Island, B, Point Barrow, or C, Little America? Stand by, I've got another radio going off. I'll be right back. Well, it's a little awkward to hear yourself talking in the background from another floor down. Let's try this again. Trivia questions for 520. What DX station in Antarctica was much sought after by hams in the early 30s? A is Easter Island, B is Point Barrow, and C is Little America. Question number 2. What does the loading coil in a mobile antenna do? A, make the antenna electrically longer, B, adds inductive reactance, or C, adds capacitive reactance. Question number 3. What famous amateur invented a silencer bearing his name? Question answer A is Clinton DeSoto, B is Hiram Percy Maxim, and C is John Deere. So that's the trivia questions for tonight. Think on those as we go through the check-ins, and again, these are available on n4lx.com/UARC. Alright, we'll go to check-ins. When checking in, please give your call sign slowly and phonetically using ITU phonetics, along with your name and location. Stations unable to check in on the air may do so at n4lx.com/UARC. and there's a check-in button there. So first group we'll take is on the Tuscaloosa. Anyone in Tuscaloosa, call now.
Well, I am in Tuscaloosa, K4CWW, Fury, Tuscaloosa.
Alright, we picked up Perry, K4CWW. Anyone else in the Tuscaloosa area?
KM4VPG, Douglas and Fayette, roll tide.
Alright, Douglas, thank you for checking in with us and appreciate the early roll tide. Let's move up to, or over to Huntsville. Yeah, let's change up the order just a little bit. Let's go to Huntsville first and work our way south. Anyone in the Huntsville node or around the Huntsville area, please call now.
This is Alpha Charlie 4, Lima Alpha, name is Pete, just a little bit south of Huntsville on Brindley Mountain. Good evening to you and the net, and thanks for calling it. Oh, and roll tide.
Alright, thank you, Pete. AC4LA, Brindley Mountain. Anyone else, Huntsville area? Alright, let's go to Coleman. Anyone around the Coleman area, call now. Alright, let's go with anyone outside of Alabama. Anyone not in Alabama, call now.
This is Whiskey Alpha 4, Alpha Quebec Whiskey. Handle is Carl, Charlie Alpha Romeo Lima, QTH, Maryville, Illinois. Hey, Russell's K4 VHF. I missed the earlier check-in. K4 VHF. Me too, I blink. KD4GS, Shelby County. Now, Russell, Kilo 4, Delta X-ray, over here in Centerville.
Let's hold up there. I was saving Birmingham for last. Yeah, I'm a little out of order tonight. I was looking at something, so I started going north to south and outside. But let me acknowledge who I've got so far. WA4AQW Carl, K4VHF Curtis, KD4GS Jimbo, and there was a double on this one, and I pulled out KB9LBP Steve, and I missed the last station. So try that one more time. Anyone I missed on that go around. Alright, thank you, Dave. Got you down, K4DXY. Alright, let's go with anyone, anywhere, not yet acknowledged, inside or outside of Alabama. Anyone, anywhere, call now.
Net control, Kilo 4 Romeo Papa in northern Alabama. I missed the earlier check-in.
Alright, we picked up Kilo 4 Romeo Papa. Is that correct? And it's Marshall.
Net control, you got me. Kilo 4 Romeo Papa. I'm just in and out right now. Thank you very much.
Alright, we got you down. I think this is the first time I've picked your call up from hosting these, so thank you for joining us tonight. The Alabama, the University Amateur Radio Club's Thursday Night Net is held each week Thursday nights at 8 o'clock Central, so join us anytime. KK4RPP. Alright, anyone, anywhere, not yet acknowledged, call now. Alright, a little bit shorter list tonight. Let me run this list and make sure I've got everybody before we go on with comments. We've got K4CWW, KM4VPG, AC4LA, WA4AQW, K4VHF, KD4GS, KB9LBP, K4DXY, and KK4RPP. Have I missed anyone or anyone anywhere? Call now.
Taking additionals.
Yeah, come on in.
Whiskey 3 November Hotel. I guess I'm the Red Lantern to the...
Well, you put us over 10, so thank you for checking in with us. Alright, I will do a reread and of the questions. If you're unable to check in over RF or Echolink, feel free to email us. There is a link on the website, n4lx.com/UARC. You can also use that same URL to look up the trivia questions, and I believe Michael got them posted. So with that, I will go through these one more time, and we will begin comments and answers. So let's see. Question number 1: What DX station in the Antarctic? Let me start over. What DX station in the Antarctic was much sought after by hams in the early 30s? Was it A, Easter Island, B, Point Barrow, C, Little America? Question 2. What does the loading coil in a mobile antenna do? A, make the antenna electrically longer, B, adds inductive reactance, or C, adds capacitive reactance? Question number 3. What famous amateur invented a silencer bearing his name? Was it A, Clinton DeSoto, B, Hiram Percy Maxim, or C, John Deere? And first up on the list is Perry, K4CWW. Tell us all about it, Perry.
Tell you all about it. Oh, that sounds good. Short check-in list tonight means we all get more quality airtime. K4CWW, Perry in Tuscaloosa. Thanks to the faithful who are here tonight. I think it's just
swimmers. I don't know what's going on, but you know, we've had a couple of big attendance nights lately, and it's been kind of up and down. It's been a little crazy like the rest of the world these days. So I don't know. Anyway, but thanks for being there, Russell. Your audio's nice tonight, and seems like all the equipment in the system is working tonight. So that's a rather remarkable achievement in itself. I was just looking at some funny stuff on BabylonB.com. I mean, guys, it's nothing serious, not a serious place, but they have some members who send in little videos and all that are funny. They got one, and all the states are giving incentives for people to get vaccinated, so they got a U.S. map, and then each of 50 states listed with the incentive they ostensibly are giving. I believe some of these are made up, but they want to have a whole list. Let me drop a repeater here a second. Okay, anyway, Babylon B-A-B-Y-B-A-B-Y-B-O-N. That doesn't sound right. Babylon, however you spell that. BabylonB.com. Okay, trivia. Well, let me see. For question one, man, who knows? B, I think. Question one, I'll go with Bravo. Question two is A, loading coil makes the antenna electrically longer. So I got a B and an A. And for the last one, John Deere is tempting because he was working with engines, so he had to know about mufflers. But I also recall Hiram Percy Maxim worked on internal combustion engine mufflers. So I believe both those guys were in the internal engine combustion muffler business, and either one of them could easily have developed a silencer, or both of them. But you know, since it's so oddball and Hiram Percy Maxim's so famous for his ham activities, I guess I'll go with B on ham. So I got a B, A, B. Okay?
Alright, Perry, I got you down for a Bravo Alpha Bravo. Anything else?
Well, I don't know. You can do one round, and I'll see if I can think of some more astonishing things to tell you and a little more quality airtime later on. K4CWW.
Alright, next up is Douglas, KM4VPG. Go ahead, Douglas.
Good evening to the net. Hope everybody's had a good day. The questions, what DX station in Antarctica was stopped for about how? Sorry about that, I had to cut it off. I didn't want to cough in it. I'm going to go with B for the first one, and A for the second one. And I'm tempted to go with Perry on the last one, but I'm thinking it could be A. So it won't be the first time I've been wrong on it, so I'll go ahead and go with A, which I probably was going to be wrong, but anyway, and roll tide. Hope everybody had a good night. If not, hope it gets better for them. I'll say 73 to all. I'll be listening. Okay.
Alright, thank you, Douglas. We got you down for a Bravo Alpha Alpha and a roll tide. Thank you for that. Pete is up next. Yeah, I think next time I'm gonna have to set a time limit on how far back trivia can go. The 30s is pretty far, but I thought maybe it was a famous contact or something. But yeah, I'm starting to question that one. Pete is up next. AC4LA. Go ahead, Pete.
Good evening, Russell. Thanks for calling it. And good evening to Perry. And by the way, I do know the answer to the third question beyond a shadow because, excuse me, I happen to legally own a few of those. But I will say this, please in the future, and people do this all the time, never call it a silencer. We, the legal people that go through the federal government, go through the ATF, pay $200, wait a year, and then pay astronomical prices to legally own what you are calling a silencer. Do not call it that. That's like calling a ham radio operator a CBer. It's just, well, it's wrong and it's a little insulting, but that's the way we look at it after you go through all the rigmarole the government puts you through to legally own them, and I have a few. And believe me, it's not easy. Getting a ham radio license is a whole lot easier and a whole lot cheaper. But anyway, we call them suppressors. I will never use the word silencer. You know, that's kind of a, I don't know what to say. It's a very low educated when you know about the subject and have to deal with it. They are called suppressors. I don't even think in its patent he even called it that. But anyway, that was definitely Hiram. So I'll go with Bravo, Alpha, Bravo. But they are not silencers. They are suppressors, and that's the way it was invented. I agree that it does, to a layman, silence the loud noise, but it suppresses it, and that's what a muffler actually does in physics. So anyway, just wanted to clarify that, but an excellent question, and I think I might have got them all right tonight, but Bravo, Alpha, Bravo, 73, just wanted to make, I always have to do my little soapbox about that one, and you hit my nerve, but anyway, back to net, no more traffic, and roll tide, AC Orly.
Well, thank you for that. I'd actually never knew there was another name for them. But that actually makes a lot more sense. So I've already updated the question to be suppressor, and I will send that to Michael to edit that as well. I've never applied for one, so I didn't know. But I have you down for Bravo, Alpha, Bravo, and a roll tide. Thank you, Pete. Next up is Carl, WA4AQW. Carl, go ahead with your comments and or trivia answers.
JB4S and the net. This is WA4AQW. Good evening, one and all. Good evening, Russell. Glad to have such a proficient group here on the net tonight. Not large, but mighty, and that's what counts. Nice day here in Maryville today. It was partially overcast, but warm outside, a little bit of sunshine. So it was kind of nice to be outside and sit out on the porch late this afternoon. Other than that, nothing really exciting here. On the trivia questions, what was for question one? What was Little America? Was that C or B?
Little America was C. Question was, what DX, and I think I've said this wrong the first time, what DX station in the Antarctic was much sought after by hams in the early 30s? A is Easter Island, B is Point Barrow, and C is Little America.
Yeah, okay, fine, David. Well, in that case, we're going to have to go with Charlie, Bravo. I can't read my writing here. Charlie, Alpha, Bravo. Charlie, Alpha, Bravo, and roll tide. I think Little America's in the Antarctic, but Easter Island and Point Barrow, I don't believe, are in the Antarctic. And as far as the suppressor is concerned, I didn't know John Deere was a ham. He may not
All right, Carl, thank you for the insights there, and got you down for a Charlie Alpha Bravo and a roll tide. Thank you for the roll tide. Curtis is up next, K4 VHF. Go ahead, Curtis.
K4 VHF. Hello, Russell. Hello, everybody. Let me go with Carl there. Charlie Alpha Bravo. Actually, question number 2 has a little trick to it. I'm going to see if anybody else can find out what the trick is. I believe Jimbo will find it. But that's what I'm going to go with. Charlie Alpha Bravo.
And Charlie Alpha Bravo, did you have a roll tide too? I might have missed it.
Yes, sir. I had roll tide, roll tide, roll tide.
All right, don't want to leave those off, so I got it down there correct that time. Charlie Alpha Bravo and a roll tide. Thank you, Curtis. Jimbo is up next. KD4GS.
Alright, hello to everyone in the net. Thank you for calling the net. And, number 1, if you said the desired target point was in the Antarctic, it had to be Little America, because Point Barrow is an Arctic circle. Easter Island is in the tropics. I need you to read question number 2 again, please.
All right, not a problem. It's let's see. Question number 2: what does the loading coil in a mobile antenna do? A is makes the antenna electrically longer. B adds inductive reactance. Or C adds capacitive reactance.
It's resistance, not reactance.
Alright. Well, if you put a loading coil into a mobile antenna, you make it seem electrically longer than it is. And since it is a coil, you are adding inductive reactance to it. So that's an A and B situation. And I did say roll tide. And number 3, as far as the device on the end of the muzzle, our Pierce did it, and he worked with automobiles and engines, and actually the patent listed as a firearms muffler, as in a muffler in an automobile. So it's going to be Charlie, AB, B. KD4GS back to net control.
All right, Jimbo, we got you down. Charlie Alpha Bravo Bravo, roll tide. Thank you for that. And a very good explanation on question number 2. The question side didn't list. Well, I'll go over it at the end before we talk about them. But I don't think you're off base there. So with that, Steve, KB9LBP, is up next.
Yeah, hello, Russell, and to everybody on the net here. I've been working on my Atomic Pi, trying to get Wires X running on it, and I think I might have accomplished that. It's taken me most of the day to do it, but got it up and running. As for the question, I'm going to also go with it was a beautiful day here. A lot of wind. We had to. We've got some hanging flowers that when we woke up this morning, they was about ready to tip over because of the excessive wind. We were getting close to 25, 30 mile an hour winds over here in Fairfield, so we rushed out early to take them down and so forth, so they wouldn't crash on the ground. But anyway, we had a good day, mowed today and trimmed all the bushes, so we got our D3, so hopefully that'll keep us away from the COVID. Who knows? Anyway, Charlie Alpha Bravo, Russell, and you got a beautiful audio signal over here on my IRLP. Back to you. I need to say a roll tide out of respect being a transplant down here in Alabama since I'm a Big Ten boy.
All right, Steve, we got you down. Yeah, I thought you'd already had a Wires X node going, but maybe it was something else you were adding to it or something. But I got you down for Charlie Alpha Bravo and an imported roll tide. We'll take it. Let's see. Dave is up next. K4DXY. Go ahead, Dave.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Yeah, it's been a frustrating day over here, well, afternoon, trying to relocate my telescoping mast, and that gave me a little bit of a headache this evening, and also trying to do some work on the 6-meter Yagi. Another headache, but I just gave it up, came in the house and said, hey, tomorrow is another day, so I'll get it done. Anyway, questions or answers, I'm also going with Charlie Alpha Bravo. 7-3, roll tide, and back to net.
This is KV4S, Kilo Victor 4 Sierra, with the University Amateur Radio Club's Thursday Night Net. Thank you, Dave. Got you down for Charlie Alpha Bravo and a roll tide. Marshall might have been in and out, but I'll see if he's still there. KK4RPP. Go ahead.
Thank you, Russell. I was in and out, but I have an opportunity here, so I'm going to go with Charlie Alpha Bravo and a roll tide. I think Jimbo's on the right track with question number 2. Well, he was with question number 1 also. I mean, Fort Barrow's in Alaska, been there, so trust me, it is not in the Antarctic. It's about as far north as you can get. But on question number 2, there's resistance in both elements of reactance and capacitance, and I'm not really sure where you're going to go with that on 2. It'd be interesting to see your answer. And on question number 3, I believe the difference between a silencer and a reducer is whether or not it's an electrical or a combustion engine. But anyway. Kilo 4 Romeo Papa Papa, are you still there?
I am. Sorry for the delay. I might have had an internet drop over here. I heard one of my nodes acting funny, so I guess I'm still on. Thank you, Marshall. KK4RPP. Got you down for Charlie Alpha Bravo and a roll tide. So that leaves us with W3NH. Owen, go ahead with your comments and trivia answers.
Yeah, no, Douglas, you can't change your answer. He didn't hear you ask that anyway because he had an interruption in the internet. But no, after listening to all these guys tell them why they wanted to do this, that, and the other, and I was going to say that too. But anyway, Douglas wants to change his first answer, so in that control, that's up to you. But anyway, let me go and get my answers out here. On the second one, I was going to go with A and B too for the same aforementioned reasons. I'm going with Charlie Alpha Bravo and Roll Tide. Roll Tide first. And I don't know your knowledge of electronics, so I don't know if you know about resistance versus reactance, but I'm sure you do. So I'm thinking you're pulling a sneaky on that second question. So I think that and as far as the adding inductance to a mobile antenna, it does make it electrically longer because inductance usually lowers the resonant frequency of a circuit. But I'm thinking you tried to trick us up with the word resistance, like someone else mentioned. So I'm going to take a cab and a Roll Tide.
Alright, Owen, we got you down. Charlie Alpha Bravo and a Roll Tide. And yeah, since we haven't given away the answers, I will let me go back to Douglas and let me get your answers one more time. Make sure I got it right, copied down correctly. KM4 VPG. Go ahead.
I'm going to change that first one to C. The guy over there that verified when I said the Point Barrow, it seemed like I'd seen that somewhere else, and I think I was thinking it's in Alaska, and I said, well, I know I was going to miss that one, but so I want to change that to C, and since I'm changing, I'll go ahead and change the last one, because I know I missed it too. I'll change it to B, so that'll make it CAB. Thank you. KL4BBG.
Alright, CAB and a Roll Tide. Alright, that's the bottom of the list. Do we have any additional check-ins not yet acknowledged? Call now. This is KV4S with the University Amateur Radio Club's Thursday Night Net.
Repeater, but if I am, try it, and feel free to tribute, but just give me check in, thanks.
Good evening, KV4S, Kilo Charlie 4, Zulu Yankee Charlie, KC4ZYC. Howard checking in from Beloit, Wisconsin.
Alright, I got a little bit of a double on the first check-in. I believe that was Billy, KM4BGF. KM4BGF. You were kind of cutting out of the repeater. Try it one more time. Did I get the right call sign?
I'm right on the fringes of the repeater, so hopefully you're hearing me. Go ahead and just check me in. I don't have any heavy answers or anything. I just jumped in there and wanted to get checked in. So KM4 BGF mobile in Squirrel.
Alright, got you checked in, KM4BGF. Thank you for checking in with us this week. KC4ZYC was next on the list. Go ahead with your comments and trivia answers.
Good evening, that control. Here's Kilo Charlie 4, Zulu Yankee Charlie. Howard up here in Beloit, Wisconsin. starting to warm up, thank goodness. Although not quite as warm as Alabama, but getting warm nonetheless. Been keeping busy, been working some crazy hours since I've gotten home. No definite word yet as to whether or not we get something permanent at my company's office there in Huntsville. Time will tell. I keep bugging certain people trying to get the information, and it's kind of like pulling teeth. Fortunately, at my home office, management is aware that I want to transfer, and they're trying to work out get me down there permanently. Although things are ramping up, and they say that they've got to have a little bit of a lull before things can really start to happen as far as getting me down there permanently. And they also need to work on getting some more people in, because we had a couple of people leave not too long ago. So we're a little bit short-staffed, and a lot of work is coming our way. And until we get more people in, we really can't have a second night shift, because we just don't have enough people to support that. So everything's been moved today until further notice. Anyway, my answers for the trivia, I'm going to say Charlie for the first one. The second one is going to be Alpha, and the last one's going to be Bravo. CA being a roll tide. KV4S, net control back over to you from KC4 ZYC.
Go ahead, recheck.
And question number 2, choice number C. Are you making reference to a plus J or a minus J on the Smith chart? Back to net control.
That one is over my head.
Comment? That is what's going to determine the answer.
Yeah, these were a cut and paste from QRZ, so I don't have a lot to back these up with. So we may have a lot of winners or a lot of losers tonight. Oh me. So let's see. Let's do one more call for any late check-ins or any additional check-ins before we give away these answers.
Comment?
Go ahead, comment.
This is WA4AQW. In regard to the question about adding a loading coil to a vertical mobile antenna, in my experience, the only thing the coil seems to add is wind loading to the whole antenna structure. Over.
Yeah, I've definitely experienced that on some of my setups. Definitely hits the air a little bit harder. All right, I'm not hearing any additional check-ins, so without any further ado, let's go with the answers here. So, question number 1: what DX station in Antarctica was much sought after by hams in the early 30s? It was answer C, Little America. And question number 2: what does the loading coil in a mobile antenna do? A makes the antenna electrically longer. B adds, well, I don't need to read the answers all over again. The answer that I got from QRZ was Bravo, adds inductive reactance. But I definitely see what you're talking about on part A, because while the loading coil makes the antenna physically shorter, it's still making the radiation and pattern and the antenna match up SWR wise, so it's technically making it electrically longer, unless electrically is not the right word there. So, but officially, according to QRZ, it was B, adds inductive reactance. So that gives us, let's see, question 3. What famous amateur invented the suppressor bearing his name? It was B, Hiram Percy Maxim, which he's got some sort of award that I hear about on some of the news lines from time to time. So I knew he had to be in there somewhere. But it's a little bit before my time too. So the final answers were Charlie, Bravo, Bravo, and Carl got them all right with the roll tide. And Carl and Curtis got them all right with a roll tide. And I gave Jimbo credit for Charlie, Bravo, Bravo, because he gave me an A and a B for question 2. And everybody else answered CAB. So technically that's not exactly right, but I'm starting to think we could probably give it to you anyway. But definitely some interesting questions. I'm going to have to watch those a little bit closer next time, I think. I was in a little bit of a hurry when I compiled them. But you can blame QRZ. And with that takes us down to the end of the net. Do we have any comments before we close out, or any additional check-ins?
I'm going to be a good loser, W3 and H. But if you recall, I said on that second question, A and B, and I had to narrow it down to a given answer. So I almost kind of, that's in the gray area, don't you think?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with gray area. So if you got a CAB or anything close to that, let's go ahead and that'll give us, let's see here, Douglas, Carl. Well, hold on, I had Carl down. CAB. I'm all messed up. I must have got the person's name offline here. But anyway, whoever answered CAB, I wrote down as Carl, Curtis, and Dave, K4DXY, KK4RPP, W3&H, and KC4ZYC. So I think we're all a bunch of winners tonight. KV4S.
So thank you very much for running the net, and I'm going to be a good loser and say that even though I said CAB, I should have known it was B, because it had B and C have to exist. A, if you have to pick one, you have to kick A out. So anyway, thank you very much for tonight.
Comment, Katie, what you get?
Go ahead, Jimbo.
I think you ought to give Carl bonus points because he added the surface area wind resistance, and I think it's Bertinelli's vortex as far as wind load. Katie, GS back to net. You did a great job. Bye.
Thank you, Jimbo. Yeah, the roll tide. That's where I was getting all right with the roll tide. If you had a CAB, so yeah, I think we did a pretty good job tonight. That one was not had a lot of interpretation on it, so I think it's safe to give that to anyone who had an alpha on that. All right, I'm not hearing any more check-ins, so I'll close this out. If you have any questions or comments regarding this net, or to volunteer as regular or backup net control station, please contact Perry Wheelis at k4cww@comcast.net or Michael Tucker at n4lx@n4lx.com. Thank you to everyone who makes our weekly net possible, and to each of you for participating in the net this evening. Please join us again next Thursday at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time for the University Amateur Radio Club net. At 8:52 Central Time, this net is closed and these frequencies, nodes, repeaters, and reflector are returned to normal amateur use. This is KV4S. Roll Tide.
Does anyone in Birmingham need to say anything to anybody before I disconnect? That's all, folks. That's all. 3 and 8 dropping node.